On the morning of the 25th, the president abruptly announced that I was terminated. He informed me that my daughter was joining the company, thus he required my immediate resignation. I stood there, stunned, unable to form a response. That particular day was crucial for handling our supplier payments. Some were processed via bank transfers for our long-standing partners, while others I personally attended to as a gesture of goodwill. He suggested I take the rest of the day off as a parting gift and swiftly ushered me out, the office door snapping shut behind me. My name is Donna. I had been with this family-owned paving company since high school, serving as a clerical worker for a decade. The company, which comprised about 32 staff members, had a warm and welcoming atmosphere under the leadership of the then president, who was also the company founder. He worked closely with the younger staff, and his wife, Brenda, was a regular presence, assisting with various tasks. Their daughter, Carol, was proficient in both field and office duties, and her husband, a trusted site manager, was well respected by the on-site team. Despite being the founders, they treated everyone as equals, never displaying a sense of superiority. This harmonious work environment changed dramatically when the founder, after a cancer diagnosis, stepped down. He appointed Carol's husband as the new president, a decision that received full support from all employees who wished the founder well with his health battles. However, the situation took an unexpected turn when the founder's estranged son, Anthony, resurfaced with his family. He had been out of touch for over 33 years after being disowned. The dynamic within the company shifted overnight, marked by my abrupt dismissal, which was both shocking and disheartening, ending my decade-long tenure under unfortunate circumstances. I was completely unaware of Anthony's history until he abruptly reappeared at our company. The long-standing employees shared that during his youth, Anthony was notorious for causing trouble, often resulting in run-ins with the law. Each time he found himself in a predicament, his parents, the chairman, and Brenda would step in to mend the situation with apologies. His misadventures escalated when he dropped out of high school and became involved in multi-level marketing schemes and fraudulent activities, ultimately leading his father to disown him. Despite years of estrangement, Anthony made a sudden return, pleading for forgiveness and expressing a newfound realization of his past mistakes. This reunion unfolded in the compact layout of our office, where the clerical area and the president's office were not separated by much space. He expressed a wish to mend fences and start anew in the company. However, given his checkered past, it was difficult for anyone to take his intentions at face value. In a surprising turn, the chairman asked us all to give Anthony another chance. He implored us, hoping for a fresh start. Although Carol and the other senior employees were aware of Anthony's troubled history, they found it challenging to fully embrace his return, but felt compelled to respect the chairman's earnest request. Consequently, Anthony and his family moved into an annex of the chairman's house, with Anthony joining the company and his wife, assuming household responsibilities. I only saw their daughter once when she visited the office. She appeared to be a college student. The chairman believed that Anthony had genuinely changed after enduring life's hardships, and Brenda was thrilled to have her son back, hoping to restore the family and company unity. However, this optimism was short-lived. Anthony soon caused new tensions by claiming that, as the eldest son, he deserved to be the next president, a statement that strained his relationships with Carol and the site manager. Despite appearing diligent in front of his father, Anthony contributed little to the actual work and often made disparaging remarks, undermining the value of physical labor and those who performed it. Anthony's dismissive attitude toward the staff, referring to them as mere worker ants who should work silently, quickly alienated him within our company. This alienation was so severe that several younger employees felt compelled to approach the chairman directly, expressing their inability to work under such demoralizing conditions. Despite this, the chairman and Brenda tried to mediate the situation, urging the staff to be patient and look at the bigger picture while they addressed the issue with Anthony. Amid these tensions, the chairman's health deteriorated significantly due to stress or other factors, leading to his hospitalization 5 months ago. In this moment of vulnerability, Anthony declared himself the president, disregarding advice from the employees who favored the original plan to appoint the site manager, Carol's husband, as the successor. The decision to elevate Anthony, swayed perhaps by parental affection or a decline in their acuity due to age, created a rift among the staff. Many felt that this choice was not only biased, but also detrimental to the company's once positive work environment. As the atmosphere grew increasingly strained, Carol and the site manager had to step in to keep the company afloat, operating largely behind the scenes. This shift in responsibilities burdened me significantly. Previously, administrative duties were distributed among Brenda, Carol, and myself. Now I found myself handling all such tasks alone, often working late into the night to keep up. Meanwhile, Anthony's commitment to his role was minimal at best. He spent much of his time engaging in leisure activities like visiting hostess bars, betting on horse races, and other forms of gambling. My interactions with him became particularly strained after I confronted him about misusing the company's credit card for personal entertainment and dining expenses, highlighting a serious misuse of company resources and further souring our working relationship. I had previously overlooked certain questionable expenses, but this particular incident was too egregious to ignore. With a sense of dread, I returned the receipt to him, firmly stating, "I can't approve this expense." His response was immediate and sharp. "Why not?" I explained, "This is for your wife's corrective underwear. It's not related to business, so it can't be expensed." The president's face turned red with anger as he retorted, "Don't challenge me. She's the president's wife. It's natural for her to dress well. This is a valid expense." I was baffled by his reasoning. The cost was $8,000, a sum not trivial by any measure. He then made a suggestion that left me even more astounded. "Then let's turn to selling corrective underwear into our new business venture. We'll categorize it as inventory so it counts as an expense." He seemed genuinely pleased with this idea, but I was speechless. "We're a paving company," I managed to say. Undeterred, he continued, "So what? We can threaten clients that if they don't buy from us, we'll cancel their contracts. Everyone will buy. It's easy money. $38,000 for a set." He laughed loudly at his suggestion, but I was horrified. "That's absolutely unacceptable," I countered sharply. "It will damage our credibility." From that moment, I became a target of the president's disdain. Day after day, I endured his constant belittling. The situation became so unbearable that I frequently contemplated quitting. However, my loyalty to the chairman, who had always supported me, and my concern for my colleagues, who would undoubtedly struggle without my presence, kept me from leaving. I was also acutely aware that I couldn't afford to lose my job suddenly. Resolving to endure, I decided to bide my time, waiting for the right moment to seek a new opportunity. Then, in an unexpected twist, I was fired. As I contemplated the sudden turn of events, I knew that resigning abruptly would create issues for our clients. With resolve, I approached the president. "I can't just leave without a proper notice and handover," I insisted, my voice steady. "Your daughter would struggle with the workload on her own, especially since today is the day we handle our supplier payments." The president's reaction was as fiery as I anticipated. His face turned beet red as he yelled, "Shut up! I told you to resign because my daughter is joining the company. Today is your last day. Let the payments wait until they come to collect. There's no need to pay them up front." Shocked by his response, I tried to reason with him. "Isn't it normal to pay for something once you buy it?" I explained patiently, as though speaking to a child. However, his next words were so irrational they left me speechless. "If that's the case, just threaten to switch suppliers. Tell them we won't make the payment this time, so they should give it to us for free." "That's not how business is done," I responded, astounded by his suggestion. "You're completely useless," he retorted. My daughter has a college degree. She can handle the office work easily. As a family, she won't question my expenses like you do. You're all talk and no action. We don't need someone like you in our company. Leave now." It became painfully clear that he wanted his daughter to take over accounting to easily justify personal expenses as business expenditures. "Oh, is that so?" "Just remember, I won't regret this," I replied, though I knew further words were futile. With a heavy heart, I quickly gathered my belongings and left, feeling deep concern for our clients. I called Carol immediately, despite knowing she and Brenda were preoccupied with the chairman's health. This issue was urgent, and I trusted Carol to handle it. Once outside, I found myself unexpectedly idle, having been fired without notice, a clear violation of labor standards laws. If I reported this to the Labor Standards Office, the company would face serious repercussions. Since our company participated in the middle company payment system, designed to support small and medium-sized enterprises with severance payments, I could claim my severance pay and 1 month's salary without haste. There was no need to rush into another job. I left with my integrity intact, hoping that Carol could manage the situation I had left behind. Given that I could apply for my benefits within 5 years of my retirement date, and considering the Labor Standards Office had a 3-year statute of limitations, I meticulously planned out the steps and timeline necessary for my retirement. This allowed me the freedom to take a breather. I had been working tirelessly, with overtime and weekends, without a moment for myself. Eager to explore and relax, I decided to take a day trip to the beach for some much-needed respite. After a rejuvenating day at the beach, I returned to my locker to check my phone and found it flooded with missed calls, emails, and voicemails. Among these notifications, Carol's email stood out. She confirmed that the payment processes had been handled smoothly and everything was in order. This news brought a sense of relief, despite the abrupt and heated manner of my departure from the company. Next, I listened to a voicemail from the company where I could hear the president's voice filled with panic. "Hey, what's going on? They're saying I'm not the real president. Did you know about this? Explain yourself." I couldn't help but chuckle at his distress and his delayed grasp of reality. Continuing through my messages, another important one caught my attention, a message from the chairman himself. Feeling the urgency, I promptly made my way to the hospital that evening. Upon arriving, I found Brenda and the president already there in the chairman's room. The chairman, upon seeing me, expressed his apologies from his bed. "Donna, I'm truly sorry for my son's foolishness." Anthony, still bewildered and arrogant, blurted out, "Hey, what's going on?" "I'm not the official president. Explain yourself." His lack of understanding was apparent, but the chairman quickly put him in his place with a stern command to quiet down. It turned out that right after I had called Carol, she had informed both the chairman and Brenda of the situation. The chairman had then confronted Anthony, who had been masquerading as president, with a pointed question. "Do you really not know anything?" This revelation marked a critical turning point in addressing the chaotic situation left in the wake of my dismissal. As the president, Anthony, still visibly agitated and confused, continued to raise his voice, I calmly clarified the reality of his position. "Anthony, you never actually had any legal authority. Your role as president was essentially nominal," I explained. "It might seem confusing, but in business terms, president is a title that denotes a role within the company, not a legal standing. The representative director, on the other hand, is the one who holds legal responsibilities for the company's external actions." I continued, elucidating the distinction. The representative director role is a formal position requiring specific legal procedures for any changes. While the title of president can be assigned or changed relatively informally within the company, altering who is the representative director involves a more complex legal process. That's why the position you held didn't have the legal weight you assumed. 5 months ago, when Anthony was appointed president, there was significant opposition from Carol, the site manager, and veteran employees. That's when I suggested a strategy. Anthony would act as a figurehead president while the chairman would remain the legally responsible representative director. Understanding the complexities of our company's procedures and laws, I knew the implications well. The plan was simple. If Anthony demonstrated genuine dedication and won the support of all employees, we would then begin the legal process to formally establish his presidency. However, if he failed to prove himself capable of leadership, the contingency plan would involve either removing him or potentially shutting down the company while Carol and the site manager prepared to start a new venture. Despite doubts about Anthony's capacity for change from people like Carol, the chairman and Brenda continued to have faith in him until he unjustly dismissed me, which finally opened their eyes to his inability to lead. If you want to be a leader, you need to learn and take care of your employees, the chairman had repeatedly emphasized to Anthony. Anthony, in his typical dismissive tone, retorted, "It's not a big deal, right? Can't we just handle the procedures now?" "No, it's not that simple," the chairman patiently explained. "Our company offers stocks to employees who want them, and many have taken up that offer. Donna, for instance, owns 15% of the company, making her a major shareholder. We cannot simply disregard her views." This conversation highlighted the crucial misunderstandings and missteps in Anthony's approach to his role within the company, stressing the importance of both legal and ethical governance in business leadership. As the president began to grasp the seriousness of his position, his face turned pale. "What? I don't own any shares?" he stammered, disbelief washing over him. The chairman responded with a heavy heart, "I plan to pass on my shares to you once you proved yourself capable as a president." "I'm deeply disappointed. Were you only interested in my wealth, thinking I didn't have much time left?" His voice trailed off into despair, and he slumped back, overcome with emotion. Brenda remained silent beside him, visibly upset by the unfolding drama. Defiantly, the president shot back, "Well, I'm the eldest son. What's wrong with claiming what's rightfully mine? The company belongs to me." His words only deepened the chairman's disappointment. "I can't forgive this anymore," the chairman declared, his voice firm. "As the representative director and a shareholder of this company, I bear full responsibility, and I have the right to call for a shareholders' meeting and propose your removal," I interjected decisively. The president's complexion turned ashen as he realized the gravity of the situation. "You mean I could be fired?" Brenda interjected. "You were just a clerk, Anthony. Donna is the only one who spoke up to give you a chance." Turning to me, Brenda apologized sincerely. "Donna, I owe you an apology. I regret the trouble caused because of my love for my son. Please tell me what you'd like to do." Confronting the president directly, I stated, "Mr. President, I no longer wish to work under your leadership, so I am resigning immediately. However, I expect to receive my severance pay along with 1 month's salary, including unpaid overtime and holiday pay. As a shareholder, I will also take action through the Labor Standards Office to remove anyone who is detrimental to the company." As I spoke, the president's face shifted from pale to ghostly white. Continuing, I informed them, "Carol has been actively visiting clients and promoting our new company. Many clients have already decided to switch from our current company to the new one, and most of our employees are planning to follow suit." "That's impossible! I'll sue you!" the president blurted out, his voice cracking under the strain. His threats, however, did little to deter the decisive course of action already in motion, setting the stage for a significant shift in the company's future. As the situation reached a climax, the chairman asserted his authority decisively. "I am the representative director, and you have no such authority," he stated firmly. The president crumpled to his knees, a picture of defeat. Witnessing this, I was flooded with mixed emotions, regret, disappointment, but also a sense of closure. "Mr. President, it's unfortunate it had to end this way," I said, addressing him with a somber tone. "Had you changed your approach upon your return, things might have been different." There were ample opportunities for understanding if you had made efforts to learn and adapt. Sadly, it was the president himself who squandered those chances, a classic case of reaping what one sows. In the aftermath, the chairman made the difficult decision to shut down the company, leaving Anthony unemployed. The president's wife tried to venture into selling corrective underwear, but the endeavor failed. They faced legal challenges due to their aggressive sales tactics and were eventually arrested for their involvement in a pyramid scheme. When Carol returned to her parents' home, she discovered boxes of unsold underwear left behind, a testament to the failed venture. As for their daughter, she found employment elsewhere, though the details of her job remain unknown. I now work happily at the new company founded by Carol and the site manager. In this new role, I cherish my relationships with my colleagues and strive to live authentically each day, appreciating the professional and personal integrity we uphold in our work environment. This experience has taught me the importance of ethical leadership and the value of a supportive workplace community.